Hello and welcome to the jungle garden in Denmark. We have had the first frost, as you can see on the tetrapanax. It gets a bit mushy and the leaves will drop off, but it will shoot again next year. If it gets really cold, I will protect it with a fleece bag, but otherwise it'll be just fine. Now we've had the first frost, and as you can see, the banana leaves are looking a bit mushy. So it's time to wrap them up. This year we're doing something a bit different than normally, because a very good friend of ours, who is an electrician, has made these pipes for us with heat cable around them. So if it gets really cold, we can turn on the cables, and the idea is that it takes cold air in at the bottom and then warmer air will come out at the top and keep the bananas a bit warmer. Last year we lost them all, or they froze down to the root and had to shoot from the bottom again, and we try to avoid that, but we only turn on the heat if it gets colder than -3 or -4. As always, we have wrapped the bananas. They have been protected with straw, and how we do this I showed in episode 4. This year I have chosen to protect a lot more with straw than I normally do. For example, all the phormiums, you can see one right in front of the bananas, and the cordyline and the euphorbia and some other plants, just in case if we get such a cold winter again. Also, Colocasia pink china is ready to be winter protected. The leaves have gone all mushy because of the frost, and I showed in episode 4 how I do that. Normally I leave the Cannas outside and winter protect them out here, but because of that really cold winter last year we lost all of them. So this year I'm going to lift them, and then I can split them up, divide them next spring, so I get some more of the same kinds, so I have some extras if we continue to have these cold winters. In the end I didn't lift all the Cannas because they have grown to a massive size, and I just didn't have pots big enough, so most of them are winter protected like I normally do. They've been cut down, and then they've been covered with straw, and then they've got a wooden box on top to keep the worst humidity out. And how I do this I showed in episode 4. Now the garden is ready for winter, and this year we're going to use some heat cables if the temperatures drop below -4 degrees centigrade, and it's going to be interesting to see if that makes a difference. And then we had some real snow. I will brush off the snow, the worst snow of the leaves, of the palms and so on, just in case, so that the weight doesn't break the branches, but otherwise they should be okay. And the 2 bottle brushes are protected with a fleece bag because they promised some quite low temperatures last night. And Yucca gloriosa is trying to flower here in the snow. We had -4 degrees centigrade last night, so we had to protect some of the most vulnerable plants, like this Butia. And then we have started up our heat cable system. We have these big distributor things, if you can call them that, and from that the heat cables they're going out to different places, as you can see, and we have covered up the cables with the bark chippings, just to try to avoid that the heat just goes into the air. I've just turned it off again because now the temperatures have come up to around 2 degrees plus. We only turn it on in when it's absolutely necessary. When the pond freezes over, we use the polar bear, as we call it, because that little polystyrene thing is shaped like a polar bear poking his head out of the ice. It keeps a hole open in the ice so that oxygen can get into the water for the fish, and gases can escape from the pond. And that's all for this time. Thank you for watching.